Obviously not the outcome that we wanted here as we started to, kick off at 12:07 or whatever it was. I'll take those guys in the locker room. We got a good football team. There's nothing can happen in that game. They got a good football team as well. They outplayed us today. They outcoached us today, and it falls on my shoulders. Questions?
Pat, you had I think 6 of your drives ended punts, another turnover on downs. What do you think they did to just slow you guys down?
They're pretty good up front. I mean, we knew that came coming into the football game. I mean, they got probably close to the best defense in the country. They got some dudes up front, and they outplayed us today at the line of scrimmage.
Pat, what was your message to the defense after those 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties in the third quarter?
You know what? It's sad that you start the second half like that, both on third downs. You guys look at the tape. There's a lot of stuff going on out there, and I don't know what to tell you.
Do you feel, there's a lot of stuff going on, but do you kind of hold your guys to that standard, though, that they need to not put themselves in that position? Because after that drive, I think Shadarian and Tamar were both out there on the next possession. Do you kind of tell your guys they have to hold to a higher standard to not put themselves in?
Yes, we talked about it. They probably got more unsportsmanlike conducts in the country, and they got called against us today. I don't know how that happens, but there's a lot going on both ways, and the flags just got thrown against us today. We talked about composure. We're going to play Pitt football. We didn't want to play their game. So that was the message: is to not get baited into it, and we got baited into it.
Did you see anything you weren't expecting from Malachi Tony today? Just what made it?
No, I saw everything I expected. I saw one of the most dynamic players in college football. Obviously, we've seen that the last 8 weeks. He's really come on. For him to throw a fade, I mean, he's throwing the ball well. He's a special player. He's hard to stop, but he's hard to stop. We could have done a better job of stopping him. On the one touchdown pass he had down there, we didn't get the right coverage check when he motioned out of the backfield. Things happened fast, and that was disappointing because he was Waldo this week, and we had to know where he was at all times, and it's an execution mistake there.
On the passing touchdown from Tony, I don't know, was there a lot of pre-snap checks defensively today, or was there some confusion out there as well?
Nate, I'm not sure which ones.
The passing touchdown from Tony where he passed to Lofton, where he slipped out the back end.
No, there wasn't. I think we were in a pressure at that time, and I think the corner there, down Panther Pitt end, right? The corner just bit up on the reverse, and he's in thirds, and he's got to stay in his third. So there was no coverage check, no issue there. It's just a matter of having better eyes.
What was their defensive line doing so well that caused your offensive line to struggle?
Did you see what they look like out there? They're really talented. I mean, it's an expensive group up front, and they're talented. I mean, that's what they did.
That seemed like there was a long exchange after the game with Mario. Anything?
No, I just told him he's got a good football team. Go win it.
All things considered, this is a pretty young football team you have here. When you look at this stretch, obviously it didn't go the way you wanted against Notre Dame, Miami. Got the win over Georgia Tech. What do you think young guys like Boozy and Mason and other guys can learn from this stretch here of meaningful games?
Yeah, Nate. We gotta learn. We got a lot of young guys out there, but there's no excuses. I mean, Boozy was young last week when he rushed for 201 yards. So, we'll learn from it. That's a good football team, and Malachi Tony's he's a young guy too.
Pat, I think they only had 7 third downs in total today. Just how are they able to be so effective on first and second and just move the chain?
Yeah, they put you. We knew one of the goals was had to stay ahead of the sticks, and after the first 2 series, I think the third series is when we looked pretty good moving down the field, but we didn't make enough plays, and we didn't do a good enough job getting them open or blocking them up front and getting first downs. Period. I mean, we lost the time possession by over 10 minutes, so our defense is on the field. It's what it is.
It looked like Mason had some tape around both of his ankles when he came out after halftime. Was he limited at all in the second half?
Didn't look like it. I mean, he got a little tweak. He'll have some time to get healthy, but he's fine.
You knew that their pass rush and their defensive line was strong. What kind of things can you do to mitigate that? What did Cade try to do this week to mitigate that pass rush?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because they're going to play man coverage with it. So all the what could you do? There's a lot of things you can do, but they're so good in coverage as well. I mean, they're gonna man coverage you, and you can throw screens and you can run draws, but those are dangerous too.
Anything else?
Yeah, Dez looked like he was going to play. What kind of went into that?
I just didn't. It was kind of game time, and he just couldn't go. I mean, and he's a Miami guy. He wanted to go, but just didn't feel good. Didn't feel like he could help the team based on how he felt. So I was disappointed. I said, "You got one play in you. It's your senior day." And he said, "Coach, I don't think so." So sad for senior day. Again, our seniors are great. I wish the field was clear at the end, but our seniors are great. I love those guys and appreciate everything done here, for this football team, and we get one more opportunity to go out as a football team.
You punted twice in the fourth quarter. Was there any consideration of going for it in those situations?
I thought about it. I just didn't want to put our defense. We were on the field for so long to begin with. I didn't want to put them in a short field. At some point, watching us move the sticks, that's almost suicide, right? I mean, let's punt the ball. Junko, I thought, did an outstanding job putting the ball where it needed to be, and so I mean, you got to know what you're up against, and you got to know, when to punt the football or fake it.
Anything final?
Anything else?
Mason, I think you guys had 9 possessions today, and only one got into the end zone. What do you think they did to just kind of knock you guys off?
They're a great team, and they did a lot of good things to kind of game plan and stop us. But I also think we just hurt ourselves a lot too. We had a lot of penalties and just not executing. I took too many sacks. Yeah, I took too many sacks. So it's just stuff we got to clean up, and it starts with me, and we just got to be better.
Anything else? Were you surprised by anything they threw at you today, or was everything expected?
No, not really. They're just there's a talented football team, and there's a reason why. They got a shot to go compete at an ACC title, and I think we could have been there too. Just we had to play really well today, and we just made too many mistakes. Games like this, you got to play. You got to be really detailed with everything that you do, and just got to play up to a higher standard, and we just didn't do that. So
as your freshman year wraps up, you're going to do a lot of reflecting. What do you think you can learn from your 2 losses as a starter this year?
It's a great question. I think the biggest thing for me is just trying to process and understand what defenses are throwing at us, and just know where my answers are, and just be quick getting rid of the football. There are times where I try and hold on to it too much, and those are the reasons why I take too many sacks. I think that's a glaring issue with myself right now. So I just got to clean that up and fix that. And, it'll be good to get some more work with that over the next couple weeks. And just got to clean that stuff up. But we'll be all right.
Collectively, how can this team grow for 2026?
That's another great question. I think like I said before, just cleaning up the little things. I think we have the opportunity and we have the chance to be a really talented football team and a really great football team. And I think we are that when we don't make those little mistakes and when we do clean up those little things. And I think that's just something that we gotta work on and we gotta fix. And just those little mistakes and little mental problems can't happen. So just got to clean that up and we'll be all right.
You took a pretty big hit on a scramble, really went down a bit awkwardly on that sack right before halftime. Just how were you feeling physically as the game progressed?
I felt good. After the first hit, I mean, it looked bad. I saw a video of it, but in all honesty, I didn't really feel it. So, but they've got some dogs on defense, and then I just got rolled up on the second one. But the trainers did a great job of helping me get back and get right. So.
You come into a game like this, or the Notre Dame game, where you're facing a talented pass rush, a tough defensive line. Do you have a different mentality about maybe is that clock in your head a second shorter? You have to get the ball out a little bit quicker?
Absolutely. Coach Bell and I talked about that all week. Just how talented they are up front and how we got to get rid of the ball fast and just play really fast. And I think first 2 drives where we kind of went negative both drives, that was on me. Holding on to the ball too much. I think taking those hits kind of flipped the switch of, hey, let's get the ball out faster. And on that 3rd drive, we were able to go down and score. So just little things I got to clean up. I got to start faster, and it starts with me. So
it seems like since you became the starter, it's been a bit of a whirlwind. I'm sure it probably feels that way for you. Are you going to take a little bit of a break here, like maybe just relax and kind of I don't know, collect yourself over the next couple days?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's yeah, 100%. But I'm just we're moving on, and wish we could be playing for a championship, but we didn't do what we needed to do to get that done. So we just got to get back to what we've been doing, and keep putting in more work to be better and attack the bowl game. So
Sure, you're well aware of him coming into the game, but what kind of stood out to you about Malachi Toney today?
His contact balance. I mean, we obviously watched a lot of film throughout the whole week, and we understood what type of threat he presents with getting the ball in his hands, the type of player he is in space, and we had to rally and tackle though. That was just our game plan, flying around and just taking shots on him. But we could have done way better. I feel like we didn't do a bad job, but we could have been way better. Just rallying around, tackling him, taking our shots, and trusting that everybody in the defense is gonna flow, and it's not just you out there. It's 11 people, not just one person.
What allowed Malachi to get open a lot against you guys?
Playing too soft, we got too much respect. Sometimes it's just challenging guys, make them be great, not just letting them, oh yeah, we seen the tape, he's a great player. Now we got to challenge him, make him be great today. Just because he showed he was great for 11 games, we got to make sure he's great today on this Saturday.
How frustrating were those penalties first drive of the second half when you guys, two big third down stops and then those penalties like the team to drive?
Yeah, real frustrating, especially when come out the half, we know what type of game it is, a 10-point game, 17-7. We know what type of momentum we can get right there, especially them two stops in the red zone. That's 3 points, maybe even 0 points, depending on the field goal kicker. If he makes it or misses. So real frustrating, but as a defense, we have to learn, especially as a DBs, because it was both depends on DBs. So we have to learn and just understand we got to be smarter than that and just not take the bait. They baited us into flags. We have to understand that.
It feels like your program, Narduzzi likes to let you guys kind of play with some edge and talk and be a little chippy. How hard is it to toe that line and not go over it and draw those penalties?
Yeah, you just got to see what type of game it's going to be with the refs. At the end of the day, some refs let you play a little more, some refs don't let you play a little more. And today's the day that the refs didn't let play as much. So we have to understand that, and then just Coach Collins, our DB coach, always says, meet to the ref, adjust to the ref. So we had to adjust to that, and we did a bad job as DBs adjusting to the refs today.
What makes your defense so good is usually you guys are good on first down and kind of getting guys behind the sticks. What were they able to do to kind of push you guys on first down?
What we talk about for the offense, what offense supposed to do, just stay ahead of the sticks. Don't let us get that Delta package on the field. That's what they did. They did a good job of just staying ahead of the sticks. 3-4 yards, second and 6. It makes it easier. They get a little 2-3 yards on second down. Now it's 3rd and 4, 3rd and manageable and stuff like that. We got to try to get them behind the sticks, and we failed at doing that part today, but we're going to be better next opportunity.
Javon, some ups and downs throughout the season, but do you feel like this team lived up to potential? Where did you guys fall short?
No, not at all. The potential always a championship, and we was one game short. It's definitely it definitely was an up and down season, but we understand it was a 1 week season every time. It was definitely a 1 week season every time. 1-0, and we just fell short today, but we'll be way better.
Javon, how are you guys as a team going to regroup and just stay alert and get ready for this bowl game?
Just understand what happened today and just learning from it, and really just watching film and coming together back as a brotherhood and as a family, because it's just us, and we know that. We know no matter what happens on Saturday, win or lose, it's just us every time. So we just got to come back as a family and just play for each other.